All right, here we go. So here we have a 2003 Honda Accord, only 91,000 miles. Just the other night, I was taking out the garbage and I noticed this. As you can see, the radio is turning on and off. Again, the car was completely turned off, keys not in the ignition, car locked, the whole deal, and we have a battery draw problem. Doing a little research, I quickly learned that the 03 to 07 Accords have this issue. So we have two options. Number one, replace the factory radio with another used unit. That runs for roughly $100, but you have a used unit. You may run into the problem again. Or we can install an Android unit. In other words, if you're not familiar with these type of radios, you can run Netflix, YouTube, your favorite apps right from this radio. And this is $170. That's what it cost me. I don't think it's going to last nearly as long as this one did, but nonetheless, let's start ripping apart all the interior trim pieces and see how this turns out. Now, fortunately, you do not need a lot of tools to do this job. The number one thing I do recommend is a trim removal set. This is like $12 off Amazon. Certainly worth the investment. I'll have links of all the tools in the description box below. The reason behind this is you have these very tight fitting trim pieces, and this just makes the job easy and it won't damage the dash. If you don't want to invest in something like this, use a flathead and wrap it with a microfiber towel so you don't damage anything up on the dash. Okay, Phillips size screwdriver, magnetic tool. This is in case we drop any fasteners. Now I'm going to do this rather quickly. If you're familiar with my videos, you know that I tend to be very detail oriented. But in a case like this, because every vehicle is a little bit different when it comes to removing the dash, I'm just going to do this rather quickly. But ultimately, you're just removing all the plastic pieces. I have two Phillips size fasteners right here. And this is where the tool comes in handy, magnetic tool. And here, press down, there we go. Okay, then on the bottom, two more fasteners. There we go, there's the cubby. Now again, if you don't have the trim removal set, just grab small Phillips size, try to squeeze it in here, like that, okay? But that's what you want to do. Very, very strong clips. It's actually a little too small, and my thumb is getting squeezed. There we go. Let's see if I can just place this. Sometimes you have to remove it, but we're okay here. Now on top, I apologize if this is a little unsteady, holding the camera with my hand here. And then the bottom, we just have two fasteners. They're just 8mm fasteners, and this should come right out. Now on the bottom, there are really, really strong clips. Pull hard. Okay, there we go. And then I just have some connections that I need to remove. And then once you remove the wires, so at the rear of the radio, you have a connection there, another connection there. If you're not familiar with these, ultimately you have a little spot where you press down on your thumb, pull. Don't pull on the wire, pull on the body. Just remove the wires, and now we can install the new unit. Now installing the radio is quite simple. You only have a few connection points in the rear. So for example, included in the kit, this is for the HVAC controls, in other words, the heating and the AC controls. So this came with the radio. I'm just plugging in to, goes that way, to the factory harness. Okay, same with this one. As you can see, specifically for the Honda Accord, plug this in. I also have a GPS adapter right here, a couple of USB. You can even hook up a rear camera. Okay, so you just plug it in, plug and play. Super simple. And of course I'll clean up the wires, make sure everything's really nice and clean. Okay, here we go. Let's just see if the radio should work. I don't have the antenna hooked in right now, but make sure we're at least getting power. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is working well. Let me button everything back up. We'll jump the car, make sure the HVAC controls work, and we'll be all done. Make sure everything lines up. There we go. So I have a USB that's connected to the rear of the radio. Goes down like that. A couple fasteners, and we're all done. So here we are. The car's running once again. I'm sorry the lighting isn't too good, but everything is wrapped up. Really not a hard installation. It really wasn't. The HVAC controls work. Let's check the AC. That doesn't turn on. Let me see if I go, because right now I'm on heat. If I turn this to cool, there we go. So that's interesting. It has to be on cool for the AC to kick on. How about the defroster? Okay, that's cool. So everything works. Let me turn this off. Everything works the way it should be. So if you have an older Honda like this, perfect upgrade, inexpensive. I'm not sure how long the longevity will be, but nonetheless, we're in good shape. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.